Hey Libras, welcome to your New Year's reading. I hope you guys are doing great. We're going to take a peek at the energy that you're leaving behind in 2021, lessons learned, and what your transition into 2022 is looking like. So let's jump in and start by pulling some oracle cards to see what energy is surrounding this reading for you right now. And the first card that we have out for you is By the Book. And let's see if we can pull another oracle card, see what energy is surrounding my Libra collective for the new... Okay, Libras, we not starting that today. That's what we not going to do is take all of those damn cards. Let's see if we can get one or two, see what energy is surrounding my Libra collective right now. And what we have for you is protection. Okay, so Libra, there feels like what's surrounding this reading for you guys is a sense of needing to do things in a very structured and orderly way. I feel like there may have been a time where you may have been playing a little bit fast and loose with life, like really not sort of having a defined direction or a defined process to achieve your goals. And so it feels like there's a sense of discipline that's needed as you move forward into 2022. Now, not saying that life was bad or anything like super catastrophic happened. I think especially over the past year, I feel like this is an energy that, anything like super chaotic may have happened prior to 2021. And this has been your year of sort of getting back on your feet. That being said, there might be a sense of you going a little bit buck wild, Libras, right? And just, not necessarily having a map or like, not a footprint, but, like a sort of structured and organized path to getting to where it is that you want to be. And what I feel like there's a sense of calm and there's a sense of protection that's surrounding this reading that's saying, like, Libra, I get it. You've been through the fire. You've been in the trenches. Like, you've experienced some bullshit and shenanigans. It's going to be okay. Whether you believe it or not, the things that have happened to you, even though they sucked, were meant to put you on a different path. But the path that you are now finding yourself on is one that's going to require a little bit of discipline from you. This is not something that you can sort of bullshit your way through. This is something that's going to require some level of thought, some level of organization, and you actually mapping out a path forward and sticking to it. So Libra, I know that you all can be dreamers. I know that things can be a little bit imbalanced for you all, but I feel like what's surrounding you going into 2022 is a need for you to find that discipline. It's a need for you to find that balance and know that things are going to be okay. But you need to infuse your life with a little bit of fall backing, if you will. So looking at your biggest lessons learned for 2021, we have the Seven of Cups in reverse, and we also have the Star card. So what it feels like is that there is a realization, right? Libras, love y'all, but sometimes your heads are in the cloud a little bit. And I feel as though you have started coming into that level of awareness that there's some practicality that's needed for your dreams to come true. So it's one of those things, it's like, oh, you want to be a multimillionaire? What avenues are available to you to make those wishes come true? And let's look at things that are kind of realistic, that are practical, right? So this is you sort of coming into awareness that, yeah, I don't think anybody's going to drop like $100 million on my doorstep. So what can I do to get there? What can I do realistically that will help get me closer to my dreams? So I think that that's sort of the biggest lesson that came out is like, what practical steps can you take towards getting to where it is that you want to be in life. Now, whether this is something that has to do with your finances or your career or your romantic life, this is you sort of bringing yourself down just a half a notch and saying, okay, what do I need to do? What steps do I need to take? So I feel like that's sort of the lesson that's come out of 2021 for you guys, for my Libra collective. Now, your biggest achievement, we have the Devil in reverse, and we also have the Page of Swords. So the Devil upright tends to indicate bad habits, right? Or some sort of toxicity that's in your life. We have that in reverse. So it feels like, Libra, you've started clearing out space. And with the Page of Swords, this is someone upright. This is the Watcher card. This is someone who is sort of observing. And I feel like your biggest accomplishment is getting back out into this world, where I think that you were a little bit gun shy before, that you were a little bit hesitant, that you sort of got in this place where you expected the worst from people and you expected the worst from life because you had such a rough patch for so long. And it feels like your biggest accomplishment throughout 2021 is getting out of this energy where everything just sort of seems so negative, where the speed bumps of life seemed like they were mountains, and you're starting to re-engage, right? You started getting back out there. You started observing less and engaging more with people, taking on new challenges at work. Now, what we have in terms of what you're leaving behind in 2021, we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. Now, when it's upright, the Knight of Swords is a very sort of in and out type of energy. It's very wishy-washy. It's very unstable. So what we have is you leaving that behind, right? And we also have the Ten of Swords. This is disappointment. This is betrayal. This is backstabbing. This is being hurt, like as hurt as any one person can be. That's also being left in the past. And this Knight of Pentacles, which interestingly is the slowest moving knight in the deck, but lends itself to stability, it also feels as though you are leaving, again, this observing energy, this slow moving energy in the past. Now is your time to ramp up, but doing so in a very smart way. So you're no longer being a passive watcher in your own life. This is something that you are moving forward in with a lot of knowledge, with a more defined plan, with more intention. So leaving this sort of fly-by-night, this sort of chaotic and buck wild energy, this is something that you're leaving in the past. This is no longer wishy-washy. This is no longer stagnant. This is you absolutely moving forward, getting past things that you've experienced. That rough patch that you experienced before 2021, that's in the rearview mirror now. So what we have coming for you in 2022, we have the Ace of Cups in reverse, Libras. And we also have the Two of Cups upright. So 2022 for you is going to be a slow haul when it comes to new offers. And I feel like this more has to do with your interpersonal relationships. It could be romantic, it could be friendships. But this partnership, this sort of emotional connection that you're looking for with others is going to come in. It's going to be a little bit slow. It's going to be a process. And again, I think that's because you're taking the time to do things the right way. You're taking time to get to know the person. You're making sure that your boundaries are intact. You're minding your P's and Q's. Like, this is just something that you are absolutely taking your time with. And so what the challenge that I see for you, Libras, is with the Eight of Pentacles card. Now, this might sound a little strange, but I think that when it comes to you and your relationships and the people that you deal with, there's this sense of you consistently being the person who puts in all of the effort. It feels as though you are always the one sort of extending yourself. You're always the one checking in on other people to make sure that they're okay. It's always you sort of initiating. So I think that with this challenge that's crossing this energy of partnership, you're going to have to learn, Libra, that it's okay for the other person to come to you. That you don't always have to be the person putting in so much effort when it comes to building a foundation with other people. And so I think that, again, with this by the book card, that you're doing things now in a different way, in something that's more structured, in a way that's much more balanced for you. And what that involves is you not being the only person putting in all of this work for a partnership. That might feel a little bit strange to you, Libra, because you have put yourself in a place for so long that you're always the one carrying the water. And so the challenge for you is letting that go and letting that person come in towards you and offer something from themselves that you can reciprocate, something that you know, that's tangible, that you can see from them, that makes it more comfortable for you to also put in a level of effort that you see coming from this person. Now, the overall theme for 2022 for my Libra collective, we have the Three of Pentacles. This is the card of teamwork. This is partnership. This is coming together. This is working together. So it feels as though 2022 for my Libras is all going to be about relationships. It's going to be about your interactions and your working with other people, which is a good thing. Like, it feels good. It feels calm. It feels like I can actually breathe right now because there is that back and forth. There are things that are being done in a way that's fair, in a way that's balanced, where you're not having to overextend yourself for other people. Now, Spirit has some advice for you. We have the Tower in reverse. So we know that the Tower upright is usually viewed as, for whatever reason, a negative card. But when it all comes down to it, it's a very sudden change, right? It's a very sudden change. And what we see here for you is Spirit saying, take things gradually. This is that stepwise approach that we were talking about, that very structured, that very measured, that very intentional way of looking at things, at how you deal with people. So this is not Spirit saying that you need to change the way that you operate overnight. Take your time in getting to know people, to understand them, to make sure that you keep yourself safe, that you keep yourself protected. And if there's ever any point that you feel the need to let somebody go, or you don't feel like you should let somebody into your energetic space, it's okay. You're not missing out on anything, Libra. You're not going to be left out in the cold. You're not going to be left desolate and friendless and destitute and all of that good stuff. You're not. What you're doing is making the choices that are best for you. And Spirit's not going to leave you hanging. The only thing that Spirit's doing is clearing space for the right people, the right situations to come in. Now, looking at the transition that we have for you going from 2021 into 2022, we have the Five of Swords. This is very much a card of being defensive. This is the card of protection, right? This is you sort of defending your new position. This is you defending your path. So I feel like, okay, Libra, there are chunks of cards that are coming out. Like, I'm talking like 7, 8, 9, 10 at a time. Okay, great. So I was just trying to get one to clarify. We have the moon in reverse. And so Libra, this is you gaining clarity as you transition from the energy of 2021 into 22. This is you having greater awareness of what it is that you're looking for in your life, where it is that you're going to find your balance, how you achieve that, and the path that you need to be on, the steps that you need to take. And this is you, I think, being much more protective of your energy, right? We saw that with the partnerships. We saw this in, sort of having the veil lifted about your wish fulfillment and looking at your options and things like that. This is you distancing yourself from people, places, and situations that don't serve you. This is you being very intentional about your path forward and moving into it with a clarity that you haven't had in the past. So your transition might be a little bit challenging, but it's going to work out for you. It's absolutely going to work out for you. So, seeing what final messages Spirit has, the first two oracle cards that came out, we have the more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. And we also have my energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. And two more oracle cards came out. Libra, your cards were real talkative today. We have accept what is dying, and we also have faith. So we have two cards of having faith, right? That Spirit is putting you on the right track, and that all you have to do is sort of defend that path that you find yourself on, because Spirit is not steering you in the wrong direction. They're only asking you to have faith in where you're headed and to be very intentional about your path and the steps that you take. Again, there's going to be some folks that you have to cut away. There are going to be some folks that are not meant to travel with you on this journey. And I think that you'll start to see that, right? And the advice that we have for you is to continue on this path. There's no need to make some sudden changes, but understand that there will be people and other situations that fall away from you. And that's okay. Sum total, it's not going to be a loss. It's not going to prevent you from this path that you're on. So there is a certain level of acceptance that needs to happen there for you. And make sure that you stay in an energetic place where your focus is on what it is that you actually want. That you're taking those steps towards what you're being guided to, where it's not going to feel like work, where it's going to feel effortless, where you're clear on where you're headed and the people who are heading there for you. So, don't mourn the loss of anything that you're sort of leaving behind, Libra, because there's something brilliant waiting for you. But there's a need for you to protect your energy, to protect your space, and to protect this path that you're on. So have faith that everything is going to work out. Don't be afraid to leave things in the past. And be optimistic. Don't look for the worst in situations. Expect the best, because that's what you deserve. So I'm going to leave it there for you, Libras. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that it resonated. If it did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. But in the meanwhile, stay safe, stay healthy, and I am sending you all huge hugs.